Right, good morning everyone and welcome back to another little hiking mission. So we've got lovely blue skies again today, but I've decided to come on a little local wander. So I've just parked up at the Hardwick Park, which is in Sedgefield. It's a spot that I've done a video on previously, I think in the snowy weather. But I'm going to go on a little bit of a sort of wander around, a bit of a circular loop outside of the park, round and back. Not done it before, so off we go. There you go, you can just see the hall behind us there. We're going through lots of farmers' fields this morning, following the path that way. So I didn't go with my walking boots today and I already feel like that was a mistake, but despite the sun it's still quite muddy in places. Never mind. I can just about see the temple in the distance there by Hardwick, but we're going to be looping round the lovely woods on the left side there. Well, GoPro never does this justice, but it's probably not going to pick it up at all, but there's maybe a buzzard up there. I think it's a buzzard. I can't quite make out its tail to make sure it's not a red kite, but I don't think I've seen them in this area before, so I suspect it is a buzzard. So you might have noticed I've had lots of Lake District videos recently. I'm really trying. I've never ever had a deadline for the Wainwrights before, but this year I thought I'd buck up a little bit because I didn't do many last year. So this year my plan is to get to the halfway point, which is why I've been doing lots and lots of Lake District adventures recently. So that is the plan. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be getting halfway with them this year. But I must admit it makes a really nice change doing a nice low level walk today, and a nice gentle one. I don't think there's really any uphill to it. Looking at the map, it's meant to take about 2.5 hours, so we'll see. I'm just loving this sunny weather. We seem to be getting quite a bit of sun recently. Really hoping it sticks around for us. Right, so the signpost is very hidden, but that's the way I'm heading to. So I'm following the public bridle way to Bishop Middleham, and it looks like it's about 1.5 miles. So I think there's like the remains of a little castle or ruin that's there. So we'll see when we get there, we'll check it out. So Hardwick is normally where I get a lot of my bird photography photos. It's the closest place to me that has like a lovely little pond and lake, so there's lots of variety of birds that are there. So normally I go there, I plonk myself on a bench and that's it. I'm distracted by the wildlife. So I thought today I'm definitely going to do this circular walk first and then plonk myself on a bench admiring the birds at the end of the walk. So as you can see, it's quite a muddy path. Okay, that section definitely made me regret not having my boots, but we're past it now. So I'm meant to be following a river, but it's more of a swamp really. And we should just be reaching the footbridge now to cross. I'm going to call it a little bit of a swamp. So it was officially the start of spring this week, and I've already noticed the odd butterfly, the odd bumblebee about, which is really nice. There's definitely lots of lambs in the fields at the moment as well. So I think we're now heading in this direction here. So as you can see, I'm definitely regretting my shoe choice at the moment. There's just bog everywhere. So I think I'm just having to sacrifice my dry feet a little bit here whilst I attempt to navigate this lovely bog. Yeah, so I've definitely sacrificed the socks. They're definitely wet now. These shoes are like my summer shoes, but the ground is definitely just soaking wet in places. Right, so I've finally just successfully navigated this boggy field. Doesn't look too bad on camera, but well, that is the gate there. It's just all submerged underwater. And we're heading up in this direction. One of the little adventures I think of going on local walks is that these public footpaths are not always maintained, so they're always a little bit adventurous, I think. Right, so I think we're now heading down in this direction. Oh look, an actual path, that's nice, isn't it? since leaving the Hardwick Park area and getting out into the sort of proper countryside of the farmers' fields, I've only bumped into 2 other people, which has been really nice. So it's been a lovely quiet wander. I think as I approach the next sort of village, it will get a little bit busier again. I'm hoping it's going to be nice and quiet by those castle ruins, but we'll see. Right everyone, so I found where the castle would have been. So Bishop Middleham Castle. 800 years ago, the field in front of you would have been dominated by an imposing stone wall, the principal residence of the Prince Bishops of Durham. Although it has been called a castle, it was not a true fortification, but a well-guarded manor house. It was used by the bishops from the late 11th century until the end of the 14th century. So this here would have been where some of the main hall and buildings were for the castle. So unfortunately I did not bring the drone with me today, but it would have been a good opportunity I think to have flown it just above where the ruins were to get the aerial shot of the landscape, but never mind. It's still a lovely wander. So this is officially our halfway point, so I'm making it a circular loop round, so heading down in this direction towards the water. You can imagine how beautiful it was to live in the castle or manor house at the top of the ground just here. So it would have overlooked the water. There is a church, local church just there. Oh, we're heading this way towards all the mud. It is very beautiful here. Right, so we're heading back onto the Castle Lake Nature Reserve. This is what I meant earlier about some of the pathways being not maintained. This is, I don't know if you can see how much that wobbles. This is definitely not stable. There we go, I made it across. Right, heading this way through the sheep field. Right, so I'm back on track. I didn't film for about 5 minutes there as I was just trying to make sure I was on the right path. As I say, some of these little public right-of-way paths through the sort of countryside, if they're not walked very often, it can be a little bit difficult I think to keep to the track. Some of them a little bit overgrown. Doesn't that look picture perfect with that little house there? Hello sheep. Hi. So as you can see, there's not much of a footpath really, but every now and again you can see the public bridleway or public right-of-way sign. So what I keep trying to do, what I tend to do when I'm on these little countryside walks, is when I enter a new field I try to spot where the way marker is before I start traipsing across, just to triple check that I'm going the right way. And GoPro won't pick it up, but you can just see the yellow markers down in the corner of this field. There we go. So this is our little stile that we're crossing. As you can see from here, you can't see at all where you're heading. Alright, so this is more like it. Back on a wider path again. I think we're meant to be getting to another little footbridge. Oh, look at the lambs, so cute. Oh, there's quite a few of them about already. This is a lovely old steel bridge. So just as I was crossing the bridge, I saw a kingfisher, definitely the closest I've got to one. I'm going to maybe hang around for 5 minutes just to see if I can get him on camera, but he's flown a little bit more upstream just at the moment. So unfortunately I did not spot the kingfisher again, but I'm really happy anyway. It's so hard to get those kingfishers on camera, but I've already achieved it at least once, so seeing it just made me smile. Right, we're back walking through the mud. I think I've nearly given up with the mud at this point, just sort of slipping and sliding my way through it. But there's plenty of it, that's for sure. Not shy on mud this walk. Right, we've just reached this golf course that we're now walking in between. Hopefully no golf balls will come flying my way. Right, we're just leaving the golf course, following the signs now, heading back through this lovely little bit of forest. Right, so before we get back to Hardwick, I thought I'd say thank you so much for watching. I know it's a local wander, so it might not interest everyone, but I've really enjoyed it. If you have as well, please smash the thumbs up, drop a little comment below, and of course consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next mission. Bye for now. Right, the last bit is along the road back to Hardwick Park.